with Soul on Fire, spiritual entrepreneurship classes that are coming through Windermere. And I am your spiritual realtor. And happy November 1st, you guys. Oh my gosh. Welcome to the end of the year and the last quarter. So hope that you're all getting as much business as you are set up to get. And that's what we're talking about today. Last month, we talked all about abundance, and that it is not really the measure of the accumulation of things and possessions. It's something that we carry in us, the abundance, and it's an energy that attracts. This month of November, every Monday, we're going to be talking about non-competition. So competition, but non-competition. So before I start, I like to just set this tone. So let's just take a moment, gather our energies kind of to this space, and I'll ring a bell, and then we'll be present together for this message today. I'm just kind of breathing in. Last week we had that wonderful guest, and he was talking about breathing into this moment. So let's just breathe into this moment. And I have an introduction or like an invocation that I like to do. And today I'm going to use the prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi. This kind of goes with the tone of our message for this month. So let's just talk about how we appear in the world and how we show up and how we show up with others. And so listen to this prayer and see if it resonates in you. So it goes like this. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace, that where there is hatred, I may bring love. That where there is wrong, I may bring the spirit of forgiveness. That where there is discord, I may bring harmony. That where there is error, I may bring truth. That where there is doubt, I may bring faith. That where there is despair, I may bring hope. And that where there are shadows, I might bring light. That where there is sadness, I may bring joy. Because, O Lord, O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in the giving that we receive, and it is in the pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Ooh, let that one sit in there for a minute. So we're talking about competition or non-competition. Confidence in yourself has no competition. Can you really be competing with someone if you want the very best for them to happen also? Are you an instrument for other people's success? That's the question that we're going to be raising this month in this non-competition segment or module of this learning. So when you look in the mirror, really, that is your competition. So if you're aligned and you're kind of ready for the day and you've, done all the things that we're going to talk about in another segment about getting ready, maybe some of you are already doing like the miracle morning and kind of centering yourself and getting aligned with your ideas and your visions for how you're going to set out your day. That's your competition. Look in the mirror. Okay, I don't want to have what anybody else has. And I don't want to be better than anyone, but I just want to be better than I was yesterday. I want to show up better and do better than I did yesterday. And that's kind of the concept. So if you're not interested in competing with anyone, because you hope that we all make it, I'm sure you've seen some of those memes floating around. You could even think like a flower doesn't think of competing with the other flowers. It just blooms. So you can shine as bright as you want, as long as you're not trying to overshadow someone else. because we all are unique. We all have our unique gifts. And that's kind of what we were talking about in the last segment is, what we bring, it's authenticity, right? So if you are authentic and you have your authentic self kind of together, then there is no competition, right? And it reminds me of this story. I went to this, it was like a workshop or seminar or something, and it had two news anchors from San Diego, and it was Carol LeBeau, who had several years as an anchor on one of those channels. I don't know, like 7 or 10, or I don't know. And a new news anchor came in, and her name was Kimberly Hunt, right? So Carol's been, she's done all these things. She's, interviewed the Dalai Lama. She's, so here comes this young, beautiful, vivacious gal, right? Gonna line up right up against her, or they were taking the same, podium, or however they do their news, right? So they're co-anchors, right? So she's just going, oh my gosh, here's this beautiful blonde. She's young, younger than me. Oh man. Okay. So what she said in this seminar was that, okay, so she just had to go into herself and know that God had a purpose for her, like her purpose is already in front of her. She's going to step into that in her authenticity, so that if she knows that her purpose is taken care of, that every day is, that is taken care of for her, and she believes that, then she could confidently support Kimberly Hunt as she took on this new role, and kind of uncomfortable, she's never been there, she doesn't know anyone. And so when I heard that, my mind, and this was several years ago, but I just went like, what a concept to not compete with someone. Now let's talk about real estate with that. You're driving down the street. We talked about this with James in the very intro of this program. And you see a competitor sign up at a house. Now you may or may not have, interviewed with that person, but there's the sign. You didn't get it either which way. So we were laughing because it's like, well, sometimes I used to drive around and I'd be pissed because I'd see all these other signs, but I didn't do anything to get that business. Like, why am I pissed? Because I'm so competitive, right? So so this was a long time ago. I've been in this business for a minute here. So I've learned that I go, hey, look at that, Bob got a listing. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Or they post it on Facebook instead of going, man, as you scroll down, you just go, yes, I like that. Congratulations. And guess what that does? That brings benefit and to you, because if you're looking at, so let me just read you something out of one of my many books. Okay, so here's one. It's called Ego is the Enemy by Rain Holiday. Now, I don't know if I agree 100% with it, because I think you need to have some ego in life, but I'm not all about like squashing your entire ego. The ego, has got us this far. So let's, keep it tamped down and use it to our benefit. But way back in the day, Seneca said, he who indulges empty fears earns himself real fears. So when you think about competition, it's almost like you're afraid that someone's going to get out in front of you, that you want to be number one. We've all heard of looking out for number one, right? So it's so beyond that, because what this says is the sad feedback loop is that the relentless looking out for number one can encourage other people to undermine and fight us. I don't want that negative energy coming if you're driving down the street and seeing my listing sign at somebody's house. I want you to be going, all right, Sully, way to go. Sully's awesome. That rocks. Good for her. So they see that behavior for what really is a mask for weakness, insecurity, and instability. In its frenzy to protect itself, paranoia creates the persecution it seeks to avoid, making the owner a prisoner of its own delusions and chaos. Ooh, is this the freedom you envisioned when you dreamed of your success? Likely not, so stop, it says. So stop being in fear that someone is going to be better than you, that someone's going to stand out more than you, and someone's going to get something that's supposed to be for you, because we already talked about if it's meant for you, it's coming to you. You can just walk right into it, or you could fight it, and you could overthink it, or try to do it your way instead of getting into the flow, or the spiritual flow that we talked about. So I like to call it non-competition. I want to support everyone in their walk and everything that they're doing, that's going to get them a little closer to where they're supposed to go. Because again, if I know my purposes and I know I'm taken care of already, and every one of my needs is already met, because that's what I choose to believe, then I can completely 100% authentically support you in your greatness. And today is probably going to be a little quick one, because we we're starting off with this new thing. So this is a lot to kind of take on and switch your thinking a little bit, and how we word things, how we think about things, creates things. So let's be careful with our words and our thoughts towards others, and start thinking about people in their most beautiful, perfect sense, in that they are exactly where they're supposed to be, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So then there could be a possibility of no competition. And so what we're going to be talking about in the weeks ahead, the Mondays ahead at 9 o'clock here on this program, Soul on Fire, Spiritual Entrepreneurship, is the idea of, instead of competition, collaboration. So we're going to try that one on, see how that feels. And I wanted to also read you something, because it kind of leads into this quote. I think that Nelson Mandela said it, but Marianne Williams had it in her book, Return to Love. And it goes like this: our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Whoa. So that's why this is going to be a short segment, because that's a lot of heavy, juicy stuff for us to ponder and meditate on. Last week we meditated, I pulled the card and it was abundance. That was so ordained, wasn't it? So magical and mystical. So today, look at that. It's peace. So let's have some peace in knowing that everything is happening exactly the way that it should for us, for our divine purpose, as long as we align with it. If you don't align with it, I can't guarantee you anything. And then I'm going to leave you with this prayer. It's a meta prayer, which is it's magical in a way. So we can all say this. In fact, I was saying it remember when we were washing our hands for 20 seconds. And so I would say, may all beings everywhere be happy. May all beings be healthy. May they be at peace. May they be free. So may all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. So that's where I'm going to leave you with that today. And I will see you next Monday at 9 o'clock. And we're going to delve more into non-competition and collaboration versus competition, looking out for number one. All right. So you guys have a great week. Have a great November 1st. The future is ahead of us. Let's make it a wonderful, beautiful, magical week as we come upon this Monday, November 1st. And I'll see you next Monday here. Thank you.